Welcome to Deep Thought. Learn from every experience. And I'm going to tell you what, every experience, good, bad, whatever, is a learning experience. It really is. You know, it's something that you can think about. Every single thing. You know, maybe you get in a car accident. It was like, oh, okay, maybe you shouldn't drive a certain speed. Or, you know, maybe you need to pay attention more when you come to this particular turn or something, right? Learn from every experience. Like, look out. Like, there's a turn near me. I avoid that turn like the plague. Now, nothing has happened, but my experience has been cars are always coming. Like, when I make that turn, there's always a car coming. It's really a bad spot because you can't see around. It's like going around a corner and everything. But I can see an accident happening there, right? Because remember, I talked about in a previous episode about thinking about coming times. I'll be thinking about little things. But when I've had accidents, and I've had accidents, had medical emergency, I was like, oh, okay, I need to learn from that experience. So you see, you want to learn from everything, good, bad, whatever. So from the bad stuff, you want to learn how not to repeat it. From the good stuff, you want to learn how to repeat it. Everything is a lesson. None of us are perfect on this planet. None of us walk on water. Everything is, there are some spiritual systems that see just even being alive as a classroom. And I would just say, regardless of your spiritual path, see it that way. This is a classroom. This is a class. You learn from everything. When you're dealing in relationships, now that's a big thing to learn from. Like if you get somebody who, they keep getting a bad person, right? And I've said this before on my relationship channel. Like if they keep getting a bad mate or something, the only thing that those mates, like say somebody a guy ran into 10 women, or women ran into 10 men. And whatever the case, they were bad for them. The only thing they had in common was that one person. Are they learning from it? When you have a bad relationship, don't see it as always bad, but it's like, okay, what did I learn from it? What did I get out of it? Indeed, just talking about relationships, period. A mentor has said this, like relationships are really something you're supposed to grow from. So even when you have something bad, you're growing from it. In fact, he had said, like when you break up from somebody, it should be a party because then you better for the next person. But it was an experience. You growing. Everything that you do, it should be growth. Like definitely good experiences should be growth, but bad experiences too. Everything. Think about it. Something happens. I don't care what it is, how small. Think about it. Think about it. Think about it. Then you can avoid it again. And there's been many a time, and sometimes I'll say something to my sons, and you know how young guys are, young people are. Sometimes they don't want to hear it, but it's like, no, I'm telling you this so this don't happen to you. This happened to me. I don't want you to learn the hard way. I'm telling you, I can see something coming, do this or do that, And because I've learned from experience, this what can happen, Because even when you learn from experience and you learn for yourself, you can teach other people. You can say something and say, well, hold up. I did this. Like somebody might ask you for advice and you can say, well, I did this, but this is what happened. Like a lot of stuff I talk about on any of these channels, it wasn't always hokey-dory. It wasn't always something good. There were some bad things that happened. A lot of stuff I'll talk about is so you don't have the same bad experience, Like if I'm on my money channel, oh, trust me, I've been in places where the money was flowing good, living well, but also been like sleeping on that air mattress. So, but I learned some stuff, learned some stuff. I always joke about being on 1,000 jobs, but I've been on a lot of jobs. I learned some stuff. Most of them were good in something. Some of them were bad, but I learned something. It was like, oh, okay. And that's why I could see stuff, because every single thing, you know? It could be just walking in the shoe. There was one time I almost slipped on the steps. Seriously, almost slipped on the steps. I was like, oh, okay, I gotta walk down the steps a certain way. I ain't get mad or anything. I just said, it's a carpet, you know, and my tendency is to walk on the tips of something that fully. So I had to change how I walk. So I said I wouldn't slip, you know? Having a TV a certain height or something like that. Eating certain foods. It was like, oh, well, hold up. I ate this food, I got sick. This food, I got constipated. This food, I'm feeling real good, feeling real energized. I learned from it. Those were experiences. Like every single thing. When you're dealing with people, when you're eating stuff, when you're doing stuff, different jobs you want. Like, okay, my 1,000 jobs, right? I learned something off of each one, including one I've been very clear about being fired. Because one of the things I learned from that job is be careful who I work for. Be careful who I work for. Make sure they are serious. Because like I said, the one occasion I was fired, the dude, the main person, he's more concerned about partying than actually getting stuff done. And seriously, and that's what he told me. I wasn't showing up to parties. I was like, I was busy doing work. Yeah, it is something. But you learn from that. It was like, oh, okay. You learn from that. Learn what type of people that you're going to deal with. Then there's some people I know and I would never do business with them. Never. Because I learned from similar people. It was like, oh, okay, I learned from this experience, And it's as they say, the saying is, fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. Like, okay, yeah, somebody did some bad stuff. What did you learn from it? What did you get from it? The main thing is, oh, okay. In fact, you could even say, yeah, you got me. Yeah, you got me. Yeah, you got me on that one. You ain't going to get me again because I'm going to learn from it. But one of the saddest things is when people don't learn from it. They keep getting the same type of mate. They keep getting fired for the same reason from some jobs, not doing some stuff right. Like I remember on one of my jobs, I had this woman and she'd been fired. She had been fired several times. And she couldn't figure out what it was. It was her. It was her personality and everything. But she didn't learn from it. She didn't learn she needed to chill out some. She didn't learn from every experience. You want to be that person that learns from every single thing that happens, every single thing you hear and everything. You don't want to make the same, you want to avoid making the same mistake twice. And even if you do, learn from that. It was like, hold up, I'm keep making this mistake over and over. What's the thing to learn? Learn from that. The thing to learn from that is learn from my experiences so I don't keep making the same mistake over and over. All right? So anyway, that's all I have for today. Really learn from everything. Learn from what I'm telling you. All right? And I'll talk to y'all. Peace and blessings.